Guys, I'm gobsmacked. I'm stunned. I am. Geez, I don't even know what the word is anymore to use. Yeah. What can you say? Jan-Hendrik Wessels has been suspended for 9 weeks. Report had it yesterday, uncharacteristic for a report to do something that's not on a Sunday, but on Wednesday. Hendrik Cronje, my colleague and friend, broke the story of Jan-Hendrik Wessels receiving a 9 week ban for allegedly grabbing, twisting, or whatever you want to call it, handing the testicles of Josh Murphy during the Bulls' win over Connacht in Galway this past weekend. It is gobsmacking for a couple of reasons. One, just the way it's been handled. One, it was supposed to come out yesterday and never did. There's been silence from the URC up till today. They eventually released a statement, and the gist of it is Jan-Hendrik Wessels is out for the rest of the year. He's not going to play again. That means he won't go on the Springbok tour. It means he won't go, for the Bulls in any of the European Cup games. This is a massive ban, and fair enough. Don't get me wrong. If he did what they say he did, he deserves the ban. No question about it. But what makes this such a dangerous precedent that's been set now is that there isn't any video evidence. When this story came out yesterday, I asked the Bulls guys, and I asked them, listen, was there any new evidence presented at the hearing? They said unequivocally no. So what we all saw on TV on Friday night was what the Judicial Committee had. Now, that replay was shown 10 times during the game. There was a full refereeing panel of Mike Adamson, Holly Davidson, the TMO, and 2 assistant referees, and not one of them could come up with conclusive evidence that Jan-Hendrik Wessels had done what was alleged. Now, I'm not saying nothing happened. I'm saying that there's no evidence that something did happen. We must go back to just one sort of. Let's take this back a step. Remember the World Cup game where Bongi Mbonambi was supposed to have called Tom Curry a Witkant. However you want to interpret that. If you want to translate it from Afrikaans, it means white side. If you want to see something more in it, then that's up to you. But the problem is with these type of things that there's one, the referee didn't deal with it. In that case, a slur, a alleged racial slur was committed. The referee couldn't deal with it on the day. There was a whole investigation by World Rugby, and which found there wasn't conclusive evidence. So without conclusive evidence, they had to find him not guilty. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to speculate further whether Bongi eventually, if he had done it or not. That's going to be forever between the two players. But now, in this case, there's been an allegation made that Jan-Hendrik Wessels grabbed Josh Murphy between the legs. It caused Josh Murphy to strike out. A lot of unhappiness, a lot of biased Irish commentary at the time. Very one-sided commentary. And we saw the refereeing team take it step by step. They said there was an allegation. They replayed the incident so many times, and they came away that there's no conclusive evidence that an act of foul play in any manner has been occurred. So with that, they went across to the exact next incident, which was Josh Murphy striking Jan-Hendrik Wessels in the face, and they dealt with that. That was given a 20-minute red card. If it was an act of foul play, if it was a strike to the head, it should actually been a proper red card. Or, I mean, in my case, I watched on Friday night. I thought, you know what, it's a reaction. Give the guy a 10-minute yellow card, put it up to the bunker, let them decide. That would have been fair to me. Or even a penalty. I don't think any Bulls fans were worried about a penalty either. The point is, what was given was a 20-minute red card. That incensed a lot of the crowd in Galway. It incensed a lot of people as well. And now, the disciplinary committee has come, and on the exact same evidence, which the referee and the TMO could see nothing, has decided that he's guilty. This is extremely dangerous, because if you can find a player guilty on the allegation of an opposition player, where do we stop? How do we stop this? Because I don't know if it happened or not. I don't know if it was accidental or not, or if it was on purpose. There was an allegation made. There was no evidence. And now suddenly a disciplinary committee stepped in and said 9-week ban. So let's have a look at the incident again, and you can make up your own mind. I'm going to go through it on video quickly.
And the degree of danger with that strike. Yeah, getting those angles now, Mike. So we've got initially 6 white around the neck.
So he's round the neck, so that would be a penalty.
Yeah.
But we're now going to focus on green because that's going to be higher than the arm around the neck.
So they seem to be dismissing what Josh Murphy has claimed.
Yeah.
And now looking at his reaction.
Yeah. And you've got to say that's based on the fact that they can't see it on a camera angle to say conclusively that there was an untoward action by
the degree of
Jan-Hendrik Wessels.
You got to say, though, there has to be something in it. Players don't ordinarily react like that. But it's very hard for the referee when you can't see it. And for Holly Davidson as the TMO.
So I'm seeing that as a high
degree
of force with that strike. So I'm seeing that as a deliberate foul play action with that high level of force to the head.
Yeah, it's going to be a yellow card. If it is, you've got to say it is.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Holly?
I'm not seeing as a high degree of danger, Mike.
Okay. So we're not seeing the high degree of danger, so we're seeing it meets the yellow card threshold.
Agree.
Holly, because you've not got Hawkeye, am I making this decision now?
Correct.
Okay. No number. Oh, sorry, number. Yeah. Okay, I have a decision. We have looked at your allegation, but there's no evidence of that allegation. What we do, I understand. What we do see is you striking to the head. We're not seeing that as a common red card. But because we do not have the Hawkeye facility just now, I'm making the decision that it's going to be a 20-minute red card.
It's a red card.
I thought he had downgraded it there a second ago from Holly Davidson's comment.
And also, there's a neck roll there as well.
we spoke about the neck roll, and that would be a penalty. I understand it would be a penalty.
Josh Murphy.
But that was supersedes it.
Okay, so that's what we saw on the TV cameras. I'm going to roll it again, but I've reduced the speed to about half now, so it's going to go a bit slower, so we can just see what's happening here. See if we see anything there. I don't think we see anything at that angle. There's obviously Namataba who took out a player by the neck. It's a penalty. Richie Murphy goes in from that angle. You see him diving in. You see him move Jan-Hendrik Wessels around, and his arm moves around. Going a bit slower than I thought. But yeah, it's maybe good to let it go slow. And there they fall. So no real conclusive evidence. This is probably the best angle that they're going to have. So we're going to have a look at that. Yeah, again, there comes Wessels in. He's into the ruck. Players' hands are flying everywhere. Paul de Wet's looking for the ball. Richie Murphy gets out of Namataba. He goes back in. Grabs Jan-Hendrik Wessels. And there's nothing there that you can see. So let's have a look. This looks like it's a bit of a faster angle. It probably was the real-time angle. It's obviously slowed down here. So there Richie Murphy goes in. He grabs Jan-Hendrik Wessels. In the process, Jan-Hendrik Wessels turns. And can't really see what happened there. And then he hits him in the face. Now, to me, fair enough. Maybe there was something there. Maybe there wasn't. I can't tell. There's no conclusive evidence on that angle and on those angles. And you can't convict somebody and in their basically their year of rugby. Yeah. So yeah, you can't do that at all. So yeah, they're Mike Adamson. They didn't really have much of a choice there. I feel for the ref. I know Owen Doyle, the ex-head of Irish referees, went on about it, had a whole article in the Irish Times. It was a bit overboard, let's be honest. There should be a lot more sane, I suppose, calm-headed reactions to things. Referees do sometimes make mistakes. But in this case, I don't see what Mike Adamson could do any differently there. He spoke to Holly Davidson. He chatted to her and he asked her about it. She didn't see any evidence. His ARs didn't see any evidence. Yeah, they could only judge what they could. And so having missed that, having not seen the evidence of the allegation, they went on and they looked at the strike to the head. And the strike to the head to them was a 20-minute red card. Now, as I've said just a bit earlier, I don't know if it was really a strike to the head. It was obviously a reaction. I don't know if it was a 20-minute red card. But that's a debate we can have. I think at the end of the day, to say on that evidence, if that's the evidence you've got and you're going to give a player a 9-week ban, that is ludicrous. Unfortunately, what happens is a lot of people out there, and I've seen it on Twitter already, saying, yeah, but they've got different angles, etc. I've confirmed with the Bulls that no new video evidence was presented. Now, the Bulls are definitely going to appeal. They've already said, they've given a statement, they respect the process, which they have to say, obviously, but they will appeal it. Of course, that's not going to be the end of it, but it was certainly an incident that has everybody talking at the moment, especially with the Springboks, because Jan-Hendrik Wessels is supposed to go on tour this week. So what's going to happen there? On the same day, Makazole Mapimpi was banned for 5 weeks for a tip tackle. You can understand that one. It was certainly a valid tip tackle. He went through the 90. Certainly something that nobody's going to argue with. But and Makazole Mapimpi has been banned before. He has got a couple of red cards in his career. So there is definitely precedent there. The fact that Jan-Hendrik Wessels has been banned for 9 games, that takes him till the 20th of December, the last game he's banned for, which means he can only play again in January, in the 3rd of January against the Stormers. That's a massive blow. So let's have a look first at at some other reaction, because we saw Rassie Erasmus weighing in this morning, and he didn't seem too pleased. He didn't. We all assuming he's talking about this decision because there's nothing else he could have talked about. But this was his reaction on Twitter. This was Rassie's tweet. It just got tougher. We now have to beat them on the field and in the boardrooms. Hamberman Tsek. Now, for those not South Africans, that's pretty much like sack is foot sack. It means basically F off. Basically, all that stuff basically means that more or less the same. Obviously, not very happy with if it's that one or Makazole's or both, but certainly Rassie weighing in there as well. Let's have a look at the disciplinary decision from the URC. It doesn't really say much, to be very honest, other than he was found guilty. But let's go through it anyway, so you can see what we get as journalists, and then we have to make up our minds on that. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments about this, because it'll be very interesting to see. This is the statement we received from the URC, which basically says citing, etc., has resulted in a 9-game suspension. Citing Commissioner in charge reported Bulls player number 2, Jan-Hendrik Wessels, for an act of foul play in the 18th minute under law 9.27. A player must not do anything that's against the spirit of good sportsmanship. That includes grabbing, twisting, or squeezing the genitals. The panel overseeing the disciplinary process, Declan Goodwin, Chair Wales, Simon Thomas Wales, and Leah Thomas Wales, were satisfied that an act of foul play had occurred and found the incident met the red card threshold. I'd love to know how they found that. We're waiting for more than that. They say with an entry low end warranting a 12-week suspension, the panel reduced suspension by 3 weeks due to the player's good conduct prior to and at the hearing and good record, which results in a 9-game suspension. But look at those games he's suspended for. Glasgow Warriors tomorrow. Now the Bulls have already said they've had to take him out of the team for that game. South Africa, Japan, France, Italy, Ireland. 4 big tests. There's the Wales test is supposed to be there as well. Strange that's not mentioned as well. The Vodacom Bulls versus Lions, which is the same day as the Lions test, the Wales test, but they put him down there. And then the 2 massive Champions Cup games, Bordeaux Beglers and Northampton Saints, and then the derby against the Sharks. So all big games that he's missing. They say the player and the club have the right to appeal, and I'm sure the Bulls will. Point to another incident that was just raised as well that I just remembered as well. Remember in the Lions tour in 2021, there was a biting incident allegation that Franco Mostert alleged that Carl Sinclair had bitten him at a ruck. It is footage, you can't see them going into a ruck, you can't see anything, then you see Franco Mostert holding his arm and showing the referee and saying that alleging that a bite occurred. Now that disciplinary committee found that nothing happened. They found there was no conclusive evidence of a bite, so they didn't sanction Carl Sinclair. So, for the life of me, I'd love to know what evidence there was that Jan-Hendrik Wessels did this. Again, if there's evidence and we've proven that it did happen, then he deserves what he gets. But until he's proven what's happened, you can't be satisfied that an act of foul play happened on that footage. And that's the point there. If we're going to start sanctioning players about allegations at other players, there are lots of things in rugby that look worse than they are, or could be construed as something happening, whereas it might be accidental, etc. Now, if we open that can of worms, rugby's got a huge problem then. And if we're going to start banning players on the whims of disciplinary committees who think that something's happened and don't have clear evidence, we've got a massive problem here. So to me, I'd love to see what happens here. The Bulls are going to appeal. They've already said they respect the process and they will appeal. But I'd love to see how that appeal is going to go. This is certainly, to me, a bit of a travesty, unless somebody can point us to some evidence. And if there's somebody that can, as I say, I've already found out that there was no new video evidence given. There's no new video angles that were given other than that was seen on the television. And they played that over and over, and they looked for video evidence that day and they couldn't find anything. So, I don't know. I'm gobsmacked. I'd love to know what you think. If you feel it's different, tell me why. Show me the evidence, please, and I'll gladly admit, I won't say defeat, but I'd admit that I'm wrong if that. But on that evidence, if that's your evidence, that isn't enough for a 9-week suspension. I rest my case on that. Love to hear what you think. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Love to hear what you think. There's more of these videos coming your way. And, of course, next week the Springboks come back again, so we'll be in full Springbok mode then. Thanks for watching. Chat to you soon. Cheers.